You are listening to the Young Black Travelers podcast, Black voices conversing on experiential travel, dedicated to creating a global community of travelers. Be bold, be inspired, be spontaneous. We are YBT.
Hi everyone, this is Simone here, and we are with Jai, and we're gonna have a conversation about travel. And so I'm so excited to have him on our podcast to talk to us and all about his experiences. And so we're gonna just jump into it. Jai, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, thank you, Simone, for having me. So my name is Jai Parham, originally from the Netherlands in a city called Herling. Grew up a military brat, so kind of bounced around from place to place, moving to the States when I was roughly about 8 years old. Kind of settling my roots down in Anchorage, Alaska, but have been traveling ever since as a content creator.
Nice. Okay. So I'm sure as a content creator, you have been a lot of places. So I'm going to start with this. What is your best travel story then?
Oof, there's a lot of them. I would say probably my best travel story would be taking my best friend Devonte from Atlanta, Georgia, over to the West Coast. It was his first time ever in California. We got to do the whole tourist attraction from Venice Beach to. Luckily, I had a friend who worked at one of the studios for the Steve Harvey show, so she was gracious enough to allow us into the studio, and you kind of got to see how the whole Schwar way of it kind of worked.
Nice.
Hmm.
Awesome. And I'm sure like for them being their first opportunity, kind of being on the West Coast was also pretty fun for them as well.
Oh yeah,
So I
absolutely.
love that. So, what is your earliest travel memory? Like, what got you into traveling or sparked that passion for exploration?
I would probably say my father. Him being in the
Hmm.
military for 26 years, watching him go from place to place, and then obviously us traveling with him. He had this knack for collecting artwork, books, and purses from my mother. Uh,
Yes, purses, love it.
so as I got older, it kind of translated over into that. I never kind of saw myself sticking to just one place, and there's
Hmm.
a large world out there. So many different things to experience, different people and cultures, and so me coming from a diverse culture myself, um,
Yeah,
it's just one of those things I love to learn about.
nice. So, do you also collect as well when you travel? Like, there's something that you get from each place?
Artwork and books. So when it comes to artwork, I love local art, no matter where I'm at. Um, I feel like it gives more of an authentic and genuine feel for that specific area that I'm visiting, rather than just buying some plain old artwork out one of the stores.
Yeah. Is there like a local artist that you try to find?
Not necessarily. What I usually do is any place that I'm specifically traveling to, I'll pull that area up and just kind of see what other, I guess, content creators are living within that vicinity. And typically I'll reach out to them and say, hey, like, how much do you charge? I would love to buy a piece of your artwork. And so my goal is essentially to be similar to my father because now that he's retired,
Yep.
he has an entire wall filled with different art pieces from
Oh,
all his
nice.
travels. And then he even built my mother a personalized library. We call it like the international library because it's books from all places of the earth.
Oh, I love reading stories from diverse authors and books about other cultures. And so like I was in India and so I got into Indian literature and the writers that were from there. Is Do you have like a certain author that you particular enjoyed from your travels that you learned about?
Mhm. Ooh, that's a tough one. I found some pretty good books. Uh,
Yeah.
there was one. It's similar. I can't remember the name of the author, but the book is they actually made a Netflix special referencing this book. But
Hmm.
it's Arsène or the Great Adventures of Arsène Lupin. I believe it's by Mont
Oh.
Blanc or Mont LeBlanc.
Uh-huh.
But pretty much think of like a French James Bond, but on the other side of the tracks. The guy is
Oh,
super
cool.
intelligent the way he articulates himself and plans out all these grand schemes. It's a great dive into that fantasy world.
That sounds
Mm,
awesome. If you, for by any chance, remember the title by the end, or even after, we're gonna put it in the link when we send it
gotcha.
out.
Oh, no,
People
that
could
was
be
the
able to
title. So
get it.
the title is The Great
Oh,
Adventures of Arsène Lupin, and the
got it.
author, I just remembered it. It's Mont LeBlanc. Mont LeBlanc. So
Yeah. Awesome. We'll put that in the link for you guys to check out. Sounds like a very adventurous read right there. But thank you so much. And so we're going to keep this conversation going, but we're going to take a quick break. Again, we're here with Jai, so we'll see you guys shortly. Okay, so welcome back everyone from our very short break. And so we're here talking with Jai, and we're having this conversation about travel, his best travel stories, and what travel means to him. So we're going to dive into, I want to know why travel, like how does it impact your life?
traveling for me is both a mental and physical escape. I feel that it can impact you in numerous ways, almost in like a freeing sense. The way that you might have grown up and your perspective on the world can greatly change just from simple conversations from complete strangers. That's one of the things that I pride myself in anytime that I do go traveling is networking. And it doesn't necessarily have to always be in a business sense, but more so in a sense of getting to a new spot. It could be Bali or Tokyo, wherever. But getting to know the locals and their customs and respecting it, coming from a place of respect, with the intention to fully receive their culture and grasping it. I found some of the best restaurants through doing this, some of the best gaming centers or movie theaters, et cetera, et cetera. So I definitely think that traveling for me personally is one of those transformational things.
So, I know that you travel for
Mhm.
work, right? But you also travel for yourself. So can you compare those two for the listeners out there?
So traveling for work, obviously, it's always about the business portion of it and uh, doing your best to network. Um, like I said earlier, but in this sense, you're doing it to build your brand or your business, whether you're independent or working for a specific company. Uh, Instead, on the flip side, where you're traveling for yourself, I feel that this is one of those great ways to build solid bonds, new friends, creating new opportunities for yourself, and trying something new that you wouldn't typically do in your safe bubble at home.
No, absolutely. And I've had opportunities to travel, not necessarily for work, but for educational purposes, and then do my own travel. And as you just talked about, there's those the positives,
Mhm.
right? Um, because you get to network maybe for a job in a professional way, right? Building those kind of connections. But I feel like for listeners as well, like finding job opportunities that allows you to travel is an added bonus, because sometimes your job covers your airfare, your hotel, and some of those expenses are not on you anymore. And then when you do have a free moment, maybe a Saturday or the weekend or whatever day it might be, you might be able to do a little bit of exploration. So that might be a way for people to get their feet wet in traveling and and exploration, just by finding those job opportunities.
No, I absolutely agree with you on that. It's one of those things where even when you're traveling, just a simple conversation starter and breaking the ice can lead to opening up new doors of opportunities. Like I said before, um,
Yeah.
back when I was younger, when I was around 17, 18 years old, I took a chance after graduating high school.
Hmm.
And this is kind of like how I got into the career field that I'm in currently. Moved to Los Angeles as a young kid, never been to a major city before. And at that point in time, I was just a dancer slash choreographer. LA quickly humbled me.
Yeah.
I was very naive in how the whole entertainment industry worked, or even just the structure of a major city. I didn't know the different cultures in terms of sectors versus like Anchorage, Alaska is a very small town. So that being said, I ended up on the opposite side of my dream in terms of where I wanted to start off at. Ended up being homeless for roughly 11 months. And right before I was about to hit the year mark, I ended up getting approached by one of the producers for, at that time, the Jimmy Kimmel Show, in which they
Wow.
connected me with Drake. And
Hmm.
so Drake was super nice to me. This was like my very first time meeting a celebrity. And he asked me what I was doing in LA. I kind of gave him the whole spiel without
Hmm.
letting him know that I was homeless.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty much the start of me being a content creator. I got my very first casting call off of that, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Um, and you took a chance on yourself, right? And you just had faith that it would work
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Um, so that's amazing and encouraging as well. So how was that meeting Drake? Were you starstruck?
I was definitely starstruck. I had like a hoodie on, some shorts. For the longest time, I was being referenced to as the Drake kid. The video on YouTube, it's listed as fake Drake interviews. And I'm the only babyface kid in there with a Puerto Rican flag hoodie on. Um, it was definitely one of those you had to be there moments. If I
Yeah.
had told you, you probably wouldn't have believed it unless like you go look it up or if you had saw it on TV at the time. So I remember the first thing that I wanted to do was contact my twin sister, my baby sister Lillian, and she didn't believe that I was with him. So I took a video, or I asked him. I was like, "Hey," he's like, "Is there anything else we can do for you?" I was like, "No." Nah. He's like,
Mhm.
"You want me to follow you online or like hook you up with like some shirts or something?" I was like, "Actually, there is something. Can you make a shout out video for my baby sister?"
Oh,
I don't
nice.
know what prompted me to do it, but I had him say her first and last name, our last name. So no one could
Uh-huh.
ever say that the video was fake. So and he was super cool to do it. He was like, "Hey, Lillian Parham, I'm here with your brother. He's gonna be a star, a world star."
Oh,
And
nice.
so that was like forever ingrained in my brain as like having a good celebrity interaction.
Right.
And fortunately enough, all the celebrities or high end clients that I've ever worked with in the past have all been super nice. I've never had one of those horror stories, thankfully.
Thankfully, yes. Amen to that. We don't
Oh
want
yeah,
those.
no. I hear about them, but I'm like, nah, y'all keep it over there.
Yeah, no, you're in line to be connected with the right
Oh
one.
yeah.
So that's great. That's awesome. I love that. So kind of like what is up for you then for in terms of traveling for 2024? Like, where are you trying to go?
So this year, my top three places that I want to visit are London, Tokyo, and Monaco. So
Oh.
yeah. So London and Tokyo are more so on a personal basis. London, I just love the culture and the vibe that's over there. From what I've seen and from what I've heard from other fellow travelers and friends, Tokyo, it's always been a lifelong goal, bucket list, if you will, for me to hike Mount
Yeah.
Fuji. And that's
Oh.
more so for like um, a test of my own spiritual strength, mental, and physicality. Because it's like 3.5 hours up, 3.5 hours down. And I can
Oof.
only imagine the breathtaking view at the top of the summit and just kind of taking that all in and reflecting on past decisions, my present life, and where the future may or may not lead me to. Uh, so that's
Yeah.
definitely on my bucket list. Monaco, a lot of people don't know or I don't think are aware of. Um, it is one of the best places to network in terms of business for any entrepreneur. Your average citizen there, in order just to live there, you have to have 500K and keep it in the bank just to live
Oh,
there. So, yeah, your
wow.
average citizen in Monaco is at least a multimillionaire. So that right there tells you if you're looking for someone to invest, the person drinking at the same cafe as you, 50
Yeah.
50 shot that they're visiting just like you, or they may or may not be someone who owns like a startup tech company that could definitely be an angel investor. So I highly recommend Monaco.
There we go. You heard it first, y'all. Monaco is to where you go when you're trying to get those networks
Oh, yeah.
in. Okay. All right. That's good. And, we're going to actually have a podcast coming out later this season, one of our recording about Tokyo.
Okay.
So hopefully maybe you can come back as well and tell us about your experience and what that was like.
Absolutely.
Yes. Are you an avid hiker? Like, are you preparing? Like, how are you
Oh
training?
yeah. So I grew up most of my childhood like back in high school here in Anchorage, Alaska, and so outdoors is all we do, from snowboarding to snow machining, hiking during the summer. Rock climbing is one of my favorite things to do. So
Got
naturally, I grew up already doing these things, and so
Yeah.
Mount Fuji, outside the obvious of Tokyo, Shibuya, those places, Mount Fuji just seems like one of those majestic areas, like once in a lifetime experience. So I definitely
Yes.
want to go up
Definitely.
there. There's also, fun fact, there's a stick that you can purchase. I don't know how much it is,
Mhm.
but you can purchase a walking stick, and along the trail to the top of the summit, they give you different branding marks for each one. So I believe
Oh,
it's
that's
like
pretty cool.
12 of them. So if you get all 12,
Mhm.
that's proof that you hiked the entire
You
trail.
did it. Oh, that's a great souvenir. That's an
Oh
art
yeah,
piece.
absolutely. I definitely plan on hanging it on my wall.
Yes, absolutely. So when is that for?
So I'm projected to go out there this summer. If not this summer, then early fall around September.
Got you. Well, best of luck to
Thank you.
you. Sounds
Oh yeah.
restorative. So for you, and I know you're talking a little bit about like reflection, being able to do that while you travel, and that self care. So How is travel a form of self care for you?
I feel like traveling for me, if I just get mentally stuck or I feel like everyone, for the most part, goes through those hard moments in their lives, no matter like what the trial and tribulation is. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Traveling is a great escape, and I'll typically take a journal with me and or jot down on my notes on my app on my phone what my expectations are for this trip, how I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to impact me in a positive way, and then at the end of the trip, pretty much summarize how I feel overall.
I love that. Yes, journaling, y'all, while you travel. So it's not just about I'm here to have fun, but like really thinking about expectation and what you want to get out of
Oh yeah,
it. Yes, yes, yes. Love that. I think I'm going to include that in my travel
I
stories
definitely
too.
recommend it.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And it's just another way to storytell.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. So no, that's great. So we're gonna be back. Stay with us as you guys are listening. We're gonna be back with our conversation. See you guys soon. Okay, so welcome back, everyone. We're talking to Jai again, and he was just telling us about his upcoming trip to Tokyo, and he's going to hike, climb Mount Fuji,
Yep.
right?
Looking forward
Okay.
to it.
We are cheering him on. And so, as this point of time, we always give a shout out to someone. And so, Jai's going to do it today. Go ahead.
So the person I want to shout out is like family to me. He just recently had a birthday. His name is Donnie Savage. Some of you may have recognized him from the LMA music video or Coming to America 2. He is an actor, content creator, model. So the guy does it all. Definitely check him out.
Nice.
His Instagram is at real Donnie Savage. Oh, sorry, at the real Donnie Savage. But yeah, definitely check him out.
Awesome. I love it. And seem like a good friendship right there. So that's
Oh yeah.
amazing. So check them out. And so we're gonna close out and we're going to play a little game. It's called This or That. And you can only pick one. A lot of past participants like to say both. You cannot say
Okay.
both.
All
You have
right.
to choose one. Okay? All right, so let's start. So, okay, you have to pick one. Cold place or tropical?
That is a tough one. All right. So cold or tropical? I'd probably have to do tropical. I feel like there's more activities that I can do in a tropical
Okay.
environment versus cold.
All right, nice. Love it. Straight to the point. All right. So, are you for solo or group trips?
Oof. Solo or group trips? I feel like that's like circumstantial. Probably group trips. And the only reason why I say group trips is I love to see the joy and change for other individuals. I get happy off of other people getting happy. So watching them learn new things or trying new things that they typically wouldn't do back at home, I'm all for that.
I appreciate that. That's great. All right. So, the next one, local transportation or are you Ubering it, cabbing it? So when I say local, I mean like more trains, the bus, or you're like, give me a cab.
I'm gonna have to say local, and the reason why is because I'm immersed in the culture. It gives me a chance and opportunity to get to know the people where I'm at. Um, whether it's
Mm,
finding out that nice taco truck that's on the south side of town, or finding
yeah.
that nice Italian restaurant on the east side. Um, or if you're someone that's into the nightlife, you can find out things like that as well. So I'm definitely gonna have to say local transport.
Yeah, same. Sometimes they're a little um the traffic
Oh
conditions, it's
yeah.
like okay. But they know what they're doing, so I still pretty feel pretty safe. I'm like, I wouldn't drive here or I wouldn't necessarily get on these local I wouldn't feel comfortable driving here, but the buses know how to navigate all of
That makes
that.
sense.
So it's
New York
pretty
is
good.
a beast within itself.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, you're right. It's the preparation.
agree with that.
But sometimes other places don't compare. It's like, okay, there's really no rules. At least we have rules and people may decide not to obey them. But in some places, like,
Oh yeah,
okay, it's
anything
at
goes.
will. Who knows? You just pray that you're gonna get home or get wherever you're going in one
Yeah.
piece. And and so the last one, okay. Do you like a full itinerary or are you kind of more spontaneous?
I'm more spontaneous. I
Okay.
feel like you can create genuine moments in that spontaneity. I think that's a word. I might have messed it up.
Yep.
But yeah, being spontaneous. I actually my past trip to LA, one of my boys that I brought with me, his name is Sean. He's more the full itinerary. We gotta lay everything out. This is what we're doing. This is how much we're paying. I'm on the opposite
Yeah.
side where it's like we're going wherever we go. This is whatever happens, it happens. And there's nothing wrong with
that's
either
cool.
one. For me, like I said, I feel like you create those authentic moments in being spontaneous.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm a itinerary girl. Like my friends know, they're like, okay, Simone got it. She have the itinerary, but one thing, my friends will still ask me what we're doing, and I'm like, I made the itinerary.
Oh yeah, see that's me. Like I'll ask, hey, like, hey, what's going on with the itinerary? And for me, it's more of a consideration. Like, oh, all right, I think we should go do this.
Yeah, you think it was a suggestion?
It was a suggestion, but I mean, as long as you keep that communication and everyone's feelings into consideration, trips typically go smoothly.
Right, and there's always free time,
Yeah.
or do as you please. Here is an option, but you can do something else.
Absolutely.
So, definitely. So it could kind of be like a combination.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for playing. And is there any like words of wisdom you want to give people, or last words that you want to say for those who may be considering travel or might be thinking about like this is the year that they want to explore or try something new?
Words of wisdom. Kind of feel like a Jedi master right now.
Yes, what you wish you knew.
I honestly just
Or
say go
travel
for it. If you have a place that you want to travel to, go for it. Save up the money and just go. As long as you figure out your plane ticket and your place to stay and mode of transportation, those three things, everything else will fall in alignment. I promise you, you make some of the most lifelong friends. You might even find your future lover. Or just any business opportunity. One of the things that I read years ago was from a William Shakespeare play called Hamlet, in which one of the characters said, "Nothing in life is good nor bad, only thinking makes it so." And by having that perspective, it kind of comes with the law of attraction. If you go with a positive mindset and mentality that this trip is going to work out, no matter wherever the location is, the rest will be history from there. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it.
Yes, that's good. I like that. You have it here, folks. And so we encourage you to just kind of get out there and do it. Just do it. Go.
Like Nike.
And yes, exactly. Just do it. That's it. That's the last few words from us. And so thank you guys just for listening to our podcast. And we ask you to share it. Follow us on all social media platforms. And if you're interested in our YBT merch, reach out to us on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Young Black Travelers blog. We're also now doing threads that you can find us, or our website. And that is www.youngblacktravelers.com. And just have fun while you're traveling. Be safe and enjoy. Thank you, Jai, for coming out and speaking to me and the people this evening.
Of course, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.